Jamaica 60 is also about serious reflection on the things that we haven't got right, the mistakes that we have made over the years, the opportunities that we have missed, and how we will do better going forward.
That's right. Let's reignite our indomitable spirit, moving steadfast towards achieving our goal to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Hello, I'm Audrey Williams, welcoming you to this Sunday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. On Get the Facts this week, we hear the inspiring story of another beneficiary of the DBJ Ignite grant funding.
Welcome to Get the Facts. This is the program that provides you with information on government policies and initiatives. I'm Theodore Henry. If you have a startup business and you need assistance to move it to the next level, the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ, has a product that will advance your idea. Today we hear from a beneficiary of the DBJ's Ignite program on how this financing has improved her business. My guest is founder of STEM Builders Learning Hub, Cavell Hilton. Welcome to the program, Ms. Hilton.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right, let's jump right into getting the facts. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, I actually grew up in Jonestown, and I attended the Trenchtown Comprehensive High School.
Right.
I loved the sciences growing up, and I was, really excited about choosing those different science subjects in high school.
Right.
But unfortunately, we had no science lab or science teacher at that time for the chemistry, the physics, the biology. I actually spent my entire summer learning about the 206 bones that make up the human body, and the first 20 elements of the periodic table. So you can guess, I was really excited.
Into it. I can tell no.
Yes, so actually I was very disappointed, not having that sort of support, and it actually inspired me to become a science teacher.
Okay.
And as an educator, I realized that my situation in high school was not unique, and that you have thousands of students across Jamaica and the Caribbean that really don't have access to STEM resources or science educators.
So the hub now.
Yeah, so being the solution-oriented person that I am, I decided to come up with a solution, which is STEM Builders Learning Hub. So we actually connect parents to qualified and experienced tutors, as well as give them access to STEM resources and programs.
This is online?
Yes, and STEM, let me just say, is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So our programs focus on teaching the sciences using a very hands-on approach. We do robotics, coding, math, and the arts. So we are STEAM-focused.
All right. Those who thought that the M meant mining have learned differently. It's mathematics. All right, let's keep going. How did you hear about DBJ's Ignite?
So I actually heard about the DBJ Ignite program through social media. So, I'm part of certain business groups that were sharing the flyer.
Right.
And, I thought, let's try it, Why do I have to lose? I really needed the support, not just the finances or the money, but, that sort of support. And the application process really helped me as well, because you have to really focus your business, come up with that proposal, and, everything that I've been learning in the other programs that I've applied to, I was really able to put it through and pitch for the DBJ.
So applying to this thing helps you formalize your business?
Very much. I mean, we were already an organization, so we were a sole trader actually when we applied, but it really helped you to focus in terms of what your mission and your vision is for the business.
Business plan.
Yes, and you also had to have those financial records.
Aye.
Yeah, so if it meant that you had to get your books in order, so it really helped your business to position itself to grow.
Interesting. What I find most interesting about what you just said was beyond the financials.
Yes.
I think most people would be like, it's the money I need.
Yeah.
But what level of support did you need in addition to the financial aspect?
So the funny thing about it is that even when you're applying you are actually partnered with a business support incubator.
Right.
So our BSI is actually Sisters Inc. And so they would help you to even complete the application process. And then even after that, they are there for support, being a member of your board of advisory if you need to.
What?
Right. So it's just all of that. It's not just the finances, because, financing is big for young entrepreneurs.
Right.
But, if you can't manage that money, it's not going to do a lot.
True.
So being able to manage your finances is a major part. And the program, wow, it's so much accountability. And I tell you.
So what I'm getting here is that there's a great deal of structure that comes with the application.
Yes.
I mean, I like the fact that they help with the form. I'm intimidated by large forms, so it's good to know that. But what stage was your business at when you thought, I need this?
Right. So we were really starting up. We had pitched to a few organizations. I won the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs Top Champion Pitch Competition, the JBDC Social Enterprise. So we were trying getting our, wetting our feet, so to speak. But the DBJ program, really, I saw that as an opportunity for us to really level up. And not just be like, one of those small businesses but never actually grow. So we really wanted to grow and really take Jamaica and the Caribbean by storm. So I saw this as an opportunity to do so. And through the DBJ Ignite program, we were really able to do that.
I'm very curious about some of the things that you are targeting with this grant. Like what are some of the things that you're like, okay, I need to level this area up?
Yes, very good question. So as I mentioned before, the services that we primarily offer, right? But we were also in the prototype stage of our science kits.
Right.
Yes.
The purple boxes.
Yes, right. So we were in that prototype stage. And so one of the things that we targeted for the DBJ is to, level up our website so that we can also offer e-commerce on that website. Another thing that we were targeting was to actually commercialize these kits and make them available for students, across Jamaica. And through the Ignite program, we were able to do just that.
Right.
So now we actually launched our Little Einstein STEM kit, and along with it, I wrote a book.
Yes?
Yes, called The Little Einstein Saved the Beach. And that book is available along with the kit, so it's a whole holistic approach to STEM education.
Oh, wow. So I'm happy that I asked that question, because now that opens the gates for so many other things. But before we get to digging a little bit more, tell me a little bit about how the Learning Hub works itself. And I'm a parent. I want to get some information. How do I go about this?
Well, so you can visit our website at www.stembuildersjm.com. We are also on social media. Right. What you do is you go on the website if it is that you need a tutor. You can select from our large network of STEM tutors available, and you can read their credentials, why are they doing what they're doing, and you can select a tutor. If you're not so sure and you want us to help you do the selection, you can type in what it is that you want to learn, send us a message, and we will respond, connect you with a perfect tutor. Because if you are not satisfied with the tutor that you're selected with, then that session is free. So that's our guarantee. So you can, until you are satisfied. So once you're satisfied, we're ready to go.
Then you're good.
Yes.
And the Ignite grant made this possible.
The Ignite grant definitely assisted us along the way.
Wonderful.
So we are moving forward. As I mentioned, we opened a new division in the company, STEM Builders Publishing, which is now also able to publish other books.
All right, I'm going to stick a pin right there. The conversation is fascinating, and we're going to talk some more. There's so many more facts to get, but right now we're going to take a little break, and we're still talking with Ms. Cavell Hilton, and she's telling us about how the Ignite grant has benefited her program, her company, and leveling up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What a way you're full of our roots and culture. That was in Jamaica 60. Jamaica 60? What a piece of news, Miss Matty. I feel like my heart going bust up.
Just in, the island of Jamaica is on the verge of celebrating its 60th year of independence.
I only way for celebrating it. They say the people them come here, But you see, when our people decide, say the other people them free paper, them say if it's war, start it, whatever. We all collect medal panta fight,
medal.
Amount of tongue we give them,
The celebrations are slated to begin on January 1st, 2000. 2022. Organized by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. We have more in this report.
I am on site and planning activities are ablaze. Persons are advised to download the Reggae Jamaica app to know what it pre. Activities for the Jamaica 60 celebration.
Yeah. I don't know the app to get the updates then.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We are continuing our conversation with founder of STEM Builders Learning Hub, Cavell Hilton. Lady Hilton, let's pick up right where we left off. You were telling me how the business works, and I am dying to know the different times you listen to founders and people who are running their business. You hear a lot of different things. But one thing you always hear is it's challenging. What are some of the challenges that the Learning Hub faced?
Well, as an entrepreneur, I face a lot of challenges, financing being one of them. And as mentioned before, it's not just about having access to the money and opportunities, but it's also about how you manage that money.
Right.
So, having your bookkeeping and your records, corporate governance, paying your taxes, and that's something that definitely the DVJ Ignite program stresses,
Yes.
right? Yes, and they also have, the quality assurance. So, as I said to you before, lots of accountability, and that really help to put your business on the right foot forward.
All right. Now, we are not out, but beginning to see the sunshine on the other side of COVID-19.
Yeah.
What was COVID-19 like for your business?
Well, I actually saw it as an opportunity. You hear they talk about, all of these stresses and things being a mother of invention, right?
Yes,
and innovation,
yes.
right? So for us, we were really able to level up because we had this business idea from 2013. But, COVID actually with the boom in the edtech industry
Right.
and online learning, we were really able to position ourselves quickly as a provider of that service. And so it wasn't as hard for us. We actually started producing videos on our YouTube channel. We were helping parents who were a little bit afraid at home and not sure, but they still wanted their child to continue their education. So by offering those private tutoring, those summer school, summer camp, and things like that, we were really able to
You didn't
assist.
mention the summer school and summer camp, man.
Yeah.
All right. So this was a moment in which what you had been positioned for.
Yes.
Just
Clicked. Yep.
love it, love it, love it. I want to know, though, what's your vision for the STEM Builders Learning Hub? Where does it go in the long term?
I definitely see STEM Builders Learning Hub as being the future of EdTech in Jamaica and the Caribbean.
Right.
We are definitely poised to be the model organization that will actually show persons, what you can do, not just in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, but what you can do in the education industry. And our hope is that we will be able to transform education across Jamaica and the Caribbean and make it accessible and available to all students, regardless of where you go to school, your gender, or your socioeconomic background.
Wow. Wow. Before this interview, I did a little bit of research into STEM Builders Learning Hub, and I saw some reviews from some of your students. It seems as if the approach has had this impact on them, reigniting an interest in STEM. Have you found that to be the case across the board?
Yes, my students will tell you, I love teaching, I love education, I'm very passionate about it. And we bring that across in what it is that we do. For us, it's not just about teaching the students, it's about that holistic approach and ensuring that they continue to, raise that banner for STEM.
Aye, raise that banner for STEM. I love it. I love it. Are there any other things? Because you sneaked in some stuff at the start of the thing, and I heard about the lessons, and you told me about camp. What else does STEM Builders?
So we are working through the Ignite program also to offer courses that can be done asynchronously, so persons can go on our website and access
Whenever
courses.
they want.
Right. So that's what we're working to achieve. So you'll have robotics, coding, programming, and science activities that persons can access.
Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, I know that you're probably going to have some strong experiences that you could share. But I'd like here near the end of our program, there are many entrepreneurs who are watching who have businesses like yourself who need that level up. What would you say to them? This is your moment. What would you say to them?
I would say to them, financing is a big thing. Of course, you need the money. but you should also ensure that you research all the different opportunities for financing, right? DBJ is the best place to start. That's what I will tell them. And I would say, if I can do it, you can too. You know, don't be intimidated by the application process. Don't be intimidated by any of it. You can do it. You just have to focus and, you know, just know what it is that you want to do with your business and where you want to go.
All right, all right. That is a strong word to business owners and potential business owners, and a strong endorsement for the DBJ and Ignite. Thank you so much, Lady Hilton, for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
And we should definitely have you back to talk STEM with us in the studio.
Awesome. I'll bring an experiment.
I'm looking forward to it. But for more information on the products and the services of the DBJ, please visit their website, dbankjm.com or thinkbige.com. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest has been STEM Builders Learning Hub Chief Executive Officer Cavell Hilton. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I'm Theodore Henry. Take good care.
We view everyone as our partners in ensuring that our country is a clean and healthy place, not just for us, but for future generations. We are all in this together, and Jamaica's beauty is our collective duty.
Practice the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. Let's help to keep Jamaica clean.
This year promises to be an exciting one as we celebrate 60 years of independence, dubbed our Diamond Jubilee. I know you are as excited as I am to be reignited in the fun and festivities. After all, it's been a long time coming. And in case you haven't heard, Emancipation Day will see the return of the float and street parade, and the Independence Village will be ignited with week-long activities at the National Indoor Sports Center. We've got the lineup just for you.
On Thursday, July 28th, the finals of the 2022 Jamaica Festival Song Competition. On July 30, finals of the Jamaica Gospel Star Competition. On Sunday, July 31st, we will have an interfaith service. On Monday, August 1, we will have the coronation of the Jamaica Festival Queen. On August 2, we will have a special event being co-hosted by the ambassador from Nigeria and the ministry, and it will be called Return to the Motherland. On Wednesday, August 3, we'll have Melaga Round. On August 4, we'll have a Jamaica Film Festival. And on August 5, Jamaican Music Through the Years, when we will have an array of all the festival songs over the years. On Wednesday, July 27, the Governor General will be hosting his reception. On July 29, the JDF will have a special parade, which is a mini military expose. We will have the Civil Emancipation Jubilee on July 31st. On August 1, Emancipation Day, we will have our civic ceremony in National Heroes Park. And again, we are reintroducing the Independence Float and Street Parade, and that will be held on Emancipation Day. Of course, on August 6, we will have our grand gala. So Jamaicans across the diaspora continue to have an immense impact, such that the texture, the color, the totality, and the culture of the UK, USA, Canada, and other diaspora communities have changed forever because of our presence. We look forward to the Jamaican colors lighting up Niagara Falls on Independence Day, and our watch parties where we will see what they're doing and they will see what we are doing.
The tinting of your windscreen, cut it out. Public passenger vehicles, according to the Transport Authority Act, not supposed to have tints. I'm appealing to motorists out there. We have removed many plates because of fandangles that are on the motor vehicle. Colorful lights, red light, purple light, blue light, and these multicolored lights. Get them off. I've noticed some trends out there where there is different type of license plates on motor vehicles. Only the Jamaican issued driver's license plates are to be on the motor vehicles. Once you transport any passenger in a motor vehicle, ensure that they are buckled, whether they are on the front or they are on the back. The seatbelt gives people a fighting chance to survive the crash. Many people have died who never give themselves a fighting chance.
As part of our 60 celebration, we revisit the festival songs that were and still are rocking our airwaves. Watch this.
It was the beginning of a new era in the festival song competition. The foundation was already laid in the 60s and 70s, producing songs that document Jamaica's culture, heritage, and the spirit of the people. But with the 80s and 90s came changes, with some songs having a different sound.
She go, she stop, she go. Hey, I want a woman. I need someone.
The Sing J started around 80. It's talking over the rhythm. You follow what I'm saying? So it created a whole new thing where the dance different and the whole attitude different. So it was known here as melodic and as sweet as the 60s, 70s.
And there were other changes. In 1994, word came from the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, that the then 29-year-old festival song competition would be renamed the Popular Song Competition. The aim? To represent the music of the day and to somehow cause the music to have appeal beyond the independence period.
The festival song too, if you check a lot of them, whenever festival come, the songs they were kind of like a mental, more jump up feel to it. I guess because they wanted to be celebratory. You have a kind of, so even though Roxy might be on, or a slower beat might be on at the time, people still think, say, during festival you need something for, so you find the artists who enter or the producer tend to inject, in my view, more of a mentor, which is our indigenous music anyway. And then again, because you call it festival song, the shelf life is very limited. A festival song seldom lives after independence. It is used to drum up feelings and excitement up to festival. After that, so sales and things will be gone.
The change also set out to attract younger artists who were into reggae and dancehall and persuade the more established ones to participate.
There was this feeling among them that when you enter festival, they are stigmatized as a festival singer, and so they didn't see themselves entering it. And worst of all, they feared entering, and one of them know name man from the rural parishes, be them. You see, they couldn't live with that, right? So I was saying, no, whenever change the name from festival to popular, it would remove the stigma or lessen the dislike for it.
To the younger artists, however, they saw the festival stage as an opportunity to shine. The name change did not affect the success of the competition, but in 2008, JCDC decided to go back to its original name.
I didn't get the kind of response I thought it would have caused by changing the name and having these more reputed artists entering. It didn't happen. But the public didn't say, well, but years after, they figured the tradition should be maintained. Let's go back to festival song contest.
And though the name brand artists stayed away, three-time winner of the 70s, Eric Donaldson, continued, winning 4 more times in the 80s and 90s, the most of any festival singer to date.
But I am proud to be Jamaican, and I love Jimmy Highland.
Another high point of the festival song competition in the 80s and 90s, it produced the first female winner.
Mr. Give me back me sweet Jamaica, me land of sugar and rum. Give me back me sweet Jamaica, me little island in the sun.
This period also gave rise to the popular Give Thanks and Praise artist Roy Rayon. He took home the top prize 4 times.
So give thanks and praises, we are still alive. Going walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we survive.
My first time I entered is 19, it would have been 1980. And it's not true that every time Roy Rayon entered, he won, not true. I've won some second prizes, but they don't count. The top prize is what is most important.
Other multiple winners included the Astronauts and Stanley Beckford with 3 each. Contributing to the success of the 80s and the 90s were the road shows.
Because our songs really and truly, they got exposure, great exposure. You were going island-wide doing 14 shows. The songs were, you one song, each song was playing like 3-4 times, 5, could be up to 6 times per day. That's the sort of rotation for up to 6 weeks. So so you monitor that. You don't care if you didn't like a song. Everybody knew every song.
Over the years, the JCDC has ensured that the festival song competition continues to produce memorable celebratory songs, creating a kind of hypnotism that draws people to the finals year after year to support their favorites.
So I've kept it going from 63 or 66 till now. First of all, it's a major achievement. And I think it's a flagship item on the JCDC's showcasing of our culture each year.
All nations have them sensation, and every nation have them adoration. This is the time for a happy meditation. Nobody first enjoy the celebration, yeah. Mama, daddy, auntie, daughter, and youth man, enjoy yourself in your homeland a little more.
I must urge all users of cyberspace, do not, for fear of being labeled a victim, refuse to report or follow through the process. Once you think that there is something wrong, seek advice, and the easiest way to get that advice is to come to Jamaica CERT or to go to the nearest police station. You will not be looked down upon for being a victim of cybercrime, because it is a matter of when for us all, not if.
To report a cybercrime, call or visit the website of the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team or make a report to your nearest police station.
That's all the time we have left today on this show. Join us tomorrow on the same station for another exciting installment of Jamaica Magazine. To rewatch today's offering or other content like this, visit our YouTube channel or website, jis.gov.jm. We would love to hear from you. Our social media pages are available. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. From all of us here at the JIS, have yourself a wonderful Sunday. I'm Audrey Williams. See you next time.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.